Hi, guys. Welcome. And I want to talk to you today about how to survive being an itinerant speaker. I'm going to come back and share with you some secrets you have never considered before, especially if you're a speaker. You live for speaking and speak for a living. This will help you. Coming right back.
Integrity Cleaning Services is a premium commercial and residential cleaning company, serving facilities as small as 500 square feet to those of up to 30,000 square feet. Our company's vision is built on a 3T core value system: training, tools, and trust, as we believe nothing is better than our best. Our focus on these three areas is how we will dominate the marketplace, proving that we are Jamaica's #1 cleaning company. Our training flows from the Institute of Inspection, Cleaning, and Restoration Certification, IICRC, based in Las Vegas, Nevada. Our client service offerings include general cleaning, deep cleaning, green cleaning, floor cleaning, carpet cleaning, upholstery cleaning, odor control treatment, mold remediation, COVID and SARS sanitation, and so much more. We have special products and services designed for restaurants, churches, hotels, schools, and other facilities. Equipped with the best tools, there is no job we consider insurmountable. Our first and most important task is to ensure we understand our customers' pain points. We then advise them of all the possible approaches and then work to remove their fears of color loss, property loss, poor performance, or upselling. Cleaning is both a science and an art. Trust is everything to us. That is why our hiring process is a meticulous one, which includes a police record check as well as an emphasis on the importance of confidentiality as a character trait. Our business is cleaning, not other people's business.
Okay, guys, so I wanted to make this video particularly for those in our local church who are going to be licensed and commissioned today. It is my belief that somewhere in the life of their ministry, they will be called upon to speak in another local church context, and if not, maybe in some other setting. And I also thought about those of you on the internet who you speak for a living or speaking is a major part of your life. I have some good advices. Number one, make sure the organization or individual you're speaking from is a trusted organization or entity. Guys, this is going to make all the difference. You don't want to end up at the end of your itinerant engagement, you are not being remunerated well, or your reputation has been messed up because of somebody you went to speak for. So always verify. Ask people like, how did you hear about me? How long have you been around? Make sure you do your due diligence. If you're flying out of state or traveling out of country, I would advise that number one, you make a copy of your important travel document. This is in case you should have your passport lost, misplaced somewhere throughout your travel. At least you'd be able to reference things like your passport number or the information from your green card, your social security number. You'll be able to pass that information on to persons. In addition to this, you want to make sure that whoever is organizing your trip buys a ticket with some level of travel insurance or the ticket is refundable. If there is some act of God, as they call it. You don't want to be held liable because you missed a connecting flight, you're stuck in the airport, and now you are being blamed by the group that you're speaking for or the individual that you're speaking for being negligent. The airline also may not take responsibility for your delay in travel. You may have to go to a long rebooking line. You may have to purchase a new ticket. But if there's some uh, wordings in that ticket purchase that would allow for you to have some leg room to book another flight without being charged a new fee, that will definitely help you. So, guys, none of those cheap carriers offering some red light flights, tell your host, do not buy me that ticket. You're not being arrogant. You are going to make sure that you take care of yourself while you're taking care of others. Your back is so important. You're flying for hours, you are going to develop back challenges at some point or another, especially if you're making long trips. You're going to be sitting for hours. Make sure you're getting your stretches in. But you don't want to be stuck in an airport overnight. It is not a glorious experience. I've had the experience not traveling for ministry, traveling for business. I've had that experience. See how much you can try to avoid that. Number next, you do not want to go on a frolic of your own without communicating. So if you're going to Uber to the mall, if you're going to Lyft to some event happening locally, you definitely want to speak with your host to let them know you'll be leaving the room or the hotel, wherever you're staying. You don't want him to have a scare. That happened to me in 2010. I was young, on the road speaking. Someone offered to take me onto the road. I went with her, and then the host was knocking the door, thinking I'm having a medical emergency because I'm not responding to the phone on the inside of that hotel room. I should have known better, which is why I'm making this video, because I want to share with you so that you don't make the same stupid mistake, which takes me to number next. Pack extra. So if you are speaking for 3 sessions, do not pack three formal or semi formal suits. You want to pack extra. Something could happen along the way. You could have a wardrobe malfunction. It could be so simple, from a button being misplaced, or it could be something major like an entire area of your skirt or your pair of pants just opening up, and you need to like find something to wear. No, trust me, if you speak for long, you're going to have one of those. I had a simple one in Anguilla a few weeks ago. The ladies on the island, they were so good. Brought me into the pastor's office, and they were able to get some thread and a needle. So they did the magic on that for me. Talking about washing, I always like to wash before I go on my trips and before I leave my engagements. Now, the first is expected, but the last some would consider unusual. I don't like to travel with dirty clothes, guys. So I have to make sure that I wash wherever I am. I find a washing machine, or I'll get a lift to the nearest laundromat, and I'll wash my clothes, I'll pack them up neatly, and I'll travel back. I believe everything you say, everything you do is marketing. Everything you say, everything you do is marketing. People are going to be opening up your luggage. You'll be informing people so much about you. And then the next thing is that when you get home, you don't want to feel like I've been gone for so long. I have so much catching up to do. You already have to get the bills. You already have to check on stuff related to family members, relatives who are unwell. So you do not want to miss a beat. And so washing while you're traveling is a perfect idea. All right, number next, be prepared. By being prepared, I'm thinking in my mind, a whole lot of people are getting into speaking, but what will narrow the thing and make you exceptional is how prepared, how sharp you are. President Abe Lincoln said, if given 6 hours to cut down a tree, he would use 4 hours to sharpen his axe and then 2 hours to cut that tree down. That's the embodiment of preparedness. You don't want to show up somewhere and you did not work out your grammar before you got up there to speak. So many people today, they want to get into speaking, but they don't want to do that public speaking, that is, but they don't want to do the grammar part first. That is so important. I hate when I hear people using the simple past where they should be using the past participle. They'll say stuff like, he had went. Can't say he had went. You have to say he had gone. But then they don't understand the rule and they don't even want to spend the time working at that. Be prepared by making sure you are well studied. You'll be reminded, your reticular system will be reinforced by your avid reading that you're doing ahead of your speaking gigs. So if you are speaking on finances, you should be reading your Susie Orman, you should be reading your Dave Ramsey, and whoever is their ghost writer would help you to come into good use of grammar. So it's so important that you study ahead. Know your topic, whatever it is, whatever theme it is, you need to break that down, find some topic, and when you would have narrowed that down, define your perspective. There are about 1,000 ways you can go on that one subject matter. Not narrow it down by finding topic and then go further by determining the perspective or the angle that you want to present this from. For example, you are speaking on finances. That's so broad. Do you want to talk about retirement, or better yet, is that what your host is asking you to present on? When you would have gone to that point, the next thing that you're going to do, you're going to narrow that down with specificity and also kind of preempt the whole occasion and envision some Q&As that might come to you. The next thing you want to do is you want to dress well. Whatever event you're going to be presenting for, guys, ask ahead of time, what should my deportment be like? I recently spoke on behalf of the Columbus State University. Now, the university was going to pay for this trip. They paid my airfare to come out of Kingston and fly to Atlanta and get to Valdosta and present. I had gone with my macroeconomics professor, and so I wanted to know pretty early, what should my deportment be like? Like I was dressing up myself up to the last minute before presentation because I was representing a prestigious organization and I wanted to make sure I was putting my best foot forward. So that's one of the things I'm reminded of when I think about preparedness. Also, your mannerism. It is the great Zig Ziglar who said that your attitude goes before you. You have known him for saying attitude determines altitude, but he said your attitude goes before you, kind of like how John the Baptist went before Jesus. Now, if you're not a religious or spiritual person, John, the cousin of Jesus, preceded his coming. Your attitude goes ahead of you to tell people who is coming. John went and said, behold the Lamb of God. So my cousin is coming. He is the Son of God. Your attitude will tell people who you are, what you're about. My grandma, who is of blessed memory, brought me up well. One of the things she was very emphatic about was mannerism. She had a way of saying something that is kind of a saying, a proverbial saying here in Jamaica. Manners will take you through the world. That is, if you have good mannerism, it will open the door for great opportunities. All right. Didn't want to make a long video, too long of a video, but you need to print stuff, guys. Make sure before you go to your presentation that you have hard copies. You don't know. You could run out of battery. You could lose your phone. Like there are a ton of things that could happen. So you want to make sure that while you're traveling, you have hard copies of your actual speech that you're going to be given. And because we mentioned like losing stuff earlier, make sure wherever you're staying, you get somewhere that has a safe so all your documents can be kept safe no matter who's doing the housekeeping. You will be okay. You are actually increasing your chances of getting robbed or losing something by the increase in speaking engagement opportunities you are being given. So the probability increases that at some point you are going to lose something. The next thing you want to do, you want to save wherever you have your bank accounts. Please make sure that they can easily reference transactions you have made. So if you're going to be speaking for a prolonged period of time, I am thinking you're going to need a chartered accountant or a CPA who will be able to speak on your behalf to say, yes, indeed, he or she has collected this amount of money over a particular period and can be afforded some loan facility because they will be able to pay. I can't tell you guys how many times I've had the need, as I'm talking to you now, I've had the need to take a loan facility. And because I was able to go back to my records, both the bank statements or physical copies of the checks, I'm able to present that to the bank and show them, and they are able to grant me some facility. Before you leave, always thank God and thank those who invited you and gave you an opportunity to speak. Let them know how appreciative you are. You can do it with flowers, you can do it with a card, you can do it with words. Don't forget to do it. There are many people in the world carrying great messages. They could have chosen anyone else, but they decided to go with you. Some persons, they have gone with me for like almost 14, 15 years, flying me to their city, putting me up in a great hotel, shuttling me back in the hours of the morning, and getting me back as on time as I would have requested. This could change your life in major and awesome ways. You can contact me. My info is in the description below. It was my joy making this video to help you in your journey to becoming a great itinerant speaker.